Think about where you are right now, the chair you're sitting in, the room around you, your city, and our entire planet. To us, Earth feels massive. If you got in a car and drove at a steady 120 kilometers per hour without ever stopping, it would still take you 14 days of non-stop driving to make it once around the globe. But our brains struggle to make sense of anything larger than that. We evolved to understand distances we can walk or see with our own eyes. So once numbers reach the millions or billions, our minds tend to blur them all together into one big unknown. To find our true cosmic address, we need to shrink the universe down until it's small enough for us to actually visualize. That requires letting go of our everyday ideas about size and distance. Imagine shrinking the sun down to the size of a basketball in a gymnasium. At this scale, Earth is a tiny green pea 26 meters away. Neptune, the most distant planet, would be over 1 kilometer away. In that massive kilometer-wide space, there are only a few tiny specks of rock and gas floating in the dark. Even when everything is shrunk down to the size of sporting goods, the solar system is almost entirely empty. Beyond our neighborhood lies the Milky Way. Our sun is just one of roughly 400 billion stars swirling inside this single massive galaxy. Distances here are so great, we measure them in light years, the distance light travels in 1 year. Crossing the Milky Way at the speed of light would take you 100,000 years. Zooming out further reveals Laniakea, a supercluster housing 100,000 galaxies. On the largest scale, galaxies arrange into a cosmic web, forming long, glowing threads separated by enormous, dark, empty voids. Everything we can see in the night sky is just a tiny speck on one single thread of this unimaginably large web. Scientists call the limit of our vision the observable universe, a sphere 93 billion light-years across. This boundary exists because the universe is 13.8 billion years old. We can only see as far as light has had time to travel toward us since the beginning of everything. We use instruments like the Hubble Space Telescope to peer into small, dark patches of the sky, discovering trillions of galaxies hidden in the distance. This chart of the universe reveals a startling fact. Everything we can see accounts for only 5%. The remaining 95% is invisible dark matter and dark energy, forces we can't see but whose gravity pulls on everything else. Most of reality is hidden from us, made of materials and energies that science is still struggling to understand. In 1990, the Voyager 1 spacecraft looked back from the edge of our solar system and captured a photo of Earth. From that distance, our world is nothing more than a tiny pale blue speck in the dark. The astronomer Carl Sagan pointed out that every human being who ever lived, every king, every worker, and every person you've ever loved, spent their entire lives on that tiny dot. It's easy to feel small when we look at the scale of trillions of galaxies. We naturally feel that our lives don't matter much when the universe is so vast. But science shows us that we are part of this giant system, not just small observers standing on the outside. The atoms that make up your body were forged billions of years ago inside the hearts of dying stars. When those stars exploded, they sent that material out into space to eventually become you. We are literally made of the stars. In a universe that is mostly empty space and invisible energy, we are the part of the cosmos that finally developed eyes to see and a brain to wonder. We are the universe finally getting to know.